Hi guys, today we will be starting with the demo class for FDMEE, and in this we will be discussing the very basic overview of FDMEE and on why do we use it, what is the necessity of using FDMEE, what are the advantages that we get by using it, and how it provides or how it brings value to the users. So at the very start, we have in FDMEE, its full form is Oracle Financial Data Quality Management Enterprise Edition, and it is basically a data integration tool that helps transform data from a variety of source systems to a consumable format for Hyperion products like HFM, planning, and SBase. We can even feed data through it to other similar products such as HPCM, close management, ARM, etc. So here the very basic advantage is its data preparation server. With it, it makes the integration very seamless, and the USP of getting the mapping translated from source to target very easily at a few clicks. It includes pre-packaged adapters for HFM, planning, strategic finance, Oracle SBase, and all types of Oracle source systems. So unlike the previous FDM classic version, which used to come only with HFM adapter as a target, here we do have a wide variety of adapters pre-built for all the Hyperion target system such as SBase, strategic finance, HFM, close management, HPCM. Everything comes inbuilt. Even the variety of source adapters are also available. They are such as Oracle EBS, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Flatfile, Data Warehouse. You can connect to all of them directly without using any third-party adapters. So this is the very big advantage which we have in FDMEE as compared to the previous FDM classic version or any other ETL tools. One very important point here is that FDMEE has a very unique workflow. Here, while implementing FDMEE, unlike any other ETL tool, you need not have to go and design the workflow. So here we have the predefined workflow of import, validate, export, and check. So these are the 4 workflow steps that are applied when data is loaded and exported to the target. FDME allows administrator to apply mapping logic through a very user-friendly interface. You need not have to have a sort of coding knowledge or something to get the mappings, or you need not have to write a SQL script to get the mappings applied. It can be done with only a few clicks in FDMEE, and thus it helps us to maintain it in an easier way. So it can be purely maintained via business users, and you need not have to have an administrator to maintain it. It is as simple. Also, it comes with a built-in scheduling process to run automations. So with this feature is known as batches, and it is not similar to the .batch files that we write in Windows. It is a different feature in FDMEE. It is known as batches. You can use batches to automate your data load. End-to-end automations can be done using batches. You can schedule the batches to run as per your requirement. You can schedule them hourly, weekly, or at month and close time, or anytime whenever you wish as per your business requirement. Further, we can also customize it to send email alerts to the users at whenever the various workflow steps are completed. Either they are successfully completed or unsuccessfully completed. We can set it up to get an email notification with the status of the workflow in the respected email IDs. If the workflow fails, we can even customize it to attach the log and send it to us. These are few unique features that we get with FDMEE. So, while we are discussing the feature, a question comes to mind, and that is, what would be the ideal situation to use it? The ideal situation foremost is when we are loading data, planning EPM or any of the Hyperion target system, it is best that we use FDMEE to load data into them. There is no other tool that provides this many functionalities to load data. There is no other tool that has this many functionalities to load data into Hyperion target systems. So it comes with predefined workflow, and the most ideal situation is that whenever we have data to be loaded into Hyperion system, we use FDMEE as the ETL tool to get the mappings or to get the data translated and loaded into the target system. The other ideal scenarios are when we have one-to-one mapping, such as a particular source or a particular source member that is coming in from, maybe from any of the source system, should be converted to a very particular target. There are a lot of different types of mapping which we will be discussing later in this class. Other ideal scenarios are, we can even, let's say we get a situation where we want to aggregate data before loading them into the target system. So such types of scenarios can also be handled in FDMEE. Another ideal situation is its error handling and notification. So whenever, let's say, we are loading data into the target system through automations, and there are always chances that in the source system new members come in, and in the automation, since there are new members in the new files, we may not have the mappings for the new members, so there are chances that the process may fail. But we can set FDME in such a way that whenever a new member comes, it will dynamically redirect them to a suspense account or a suspense member in the hierarchy, such that the FDME load runs without any issues. Later on, after the load, you can check the data corresponding to the suspense account and figure out on what came into the suspense account. One more important role that we have here is important feature that we have here is the role-based security. So here we don't have any predefined role. Few of the security roles are there, but they are completely customizable. So you can actually specify or attach roles to these predefined security levels, and you can actually tell FDME that which level should have what role of access. This is also one of the very unique feature, unlike other ETL tools where you have to run queries to give access, or we cannot do a role-based user access in general ETLs. So now when we are moving forward, actually FDMEE, if you guys are aware of the FDM classic version, so FDME is a combination of the FDM Classic and the ARPI adapter that was available in previous Classic versions. However, The back end of FDMEE is Oracle Data Integrator. So FDMEE sits on top of Oracle Data Integrator, and thus it has a very robust integration system because of Oracle Data Integrator. So it is Oracle Data Integrator that actually does the integration with a number of source systems such as ERP and Hyperion, and it is responsible for fetching data from the source system into the FDMEE staging tables. As a result of which we have tighter integration, we have a scalable product such that we can connect it to an n number of different source systems, and to a business user it appears as one product. So a business user will never be able to know or get a feeling of using two different products at the same time. They will never have to log into ODI to do a particular job or to achieve a particular task. Only the developers who are actually implementing FDMEE, they will have to log in to ODI to do the integration part. Once the integration starts running, you will never have to log in again to ODI. One improvement that came up with FDMEE is we no longer have the previous classic workbench. So the workbench is removed from FDMEE. However, all the key features of FDM are still intact, like it is still user-friendly, it has still the out-of-box feature of audit trial and logging, and its USP of mappings. FDME is available from 11.123, and from this version, FDM is discontinued. As of now, two versions, major releases of EPM is available. They are 11.123 and 11.124. So 124 is the latest version, and the latest patch is 124.210. So this is the architectural diagram of FDMEE. This is how the architecture looks like, and yes, as you can see in this architectural diagram, in the data translation layer we have both ODI and FDMEE. However, both of them share the same staging tables. That means both of them sit on the same FDMEE schema, or both of them sit on the same schema. Okay, so you can see in this architectural diagram that it is ODI that does the connection with the source system and brings the data to the staging tables. Once the data is in FDMEE staging tables, FDMEE engine runs to get the mappings applied and convert the data into target consumable format. The target systems can be any of the Hyperion systems such as planning, HFM, HPCM, HCM, etc. Once the data is loaded into the target system, you can pull the data via reports or smart views. Here a very unique feature that we get with FDMEE is that it also gives us an option to drill through from the target to the very source system. Let's say we are pulling a report from HFM, and against a particular cross section we see that a value of $100 is visible in the report. So with drill through we can actually click that $100 and move back to FDME to check what mappings were applied, and we can further drill back to the source GL system to check on what actually contributed to that $100. Further, not only drill through, FDME also provides the feature of write back. Depending on your access, you can actually pull the drill back to the source, and if you see any corrections are required, you can actually do the correction. You can actually do the correction from the target system. So this is a very unique feature that came up with FDME, where you can drill back from the target system to the source GL and can also modify the data in the source GL based on your need, or if you have a need to do so. However, that will purely depend on what kind of access that you are having. So moving forward, we have an option to integrate the number of source system using ODI into FDME. The out-of-box integration features helps us to integrate Oracle EBS, PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, or any other Oracle-based source system. However, we can also integrate other ERP systems such as SAP BW with the help of third-party adapters that are also available. A very important adapter that comes with FDME is Oracle Open Interface Adapter. Open Interface Adapter is used in scenarios where a default integration is not available. So in such cases, we can use Open Interface Adapter to connect to a wide variety of source systems, be it any data warehouse or a file system or something else, whatever we have as per our business requirement. It also supports file-based integration system where we can load delimited or fixed file format, and also it supports a lot of encodings such as single byte and multi-byte encodings as well. The source system in FDME is defined by it can be of anything such as ERP and EPM. So however, in 11.123 we cannot use the source system as EPM. In 1.2.4 the feature is included to use EPM as a source system. We will be discussing this later in this class, and we can define, as I said, we can define both ERP and EPM as a source system and then map the source column to the EPM application. So let's say in the source system we basically do two different things. In one, we identify what kind of a source system it is, and the second step is we tell FDMEE that what columns of data is should be mapped to what columns of data in the target. So we basically do a mapping of source column to the target columns, or the source dimension to the target dimension. Second, other features includes mapping rules. So mappings are most important part of FDME. They basically are responsible for translating data based on their dimensionality to the target. This is the heart of FDME application. We have data load rules in FDME that can be used or that can be reused again and again for each period to load data. This is unlike FDM Classic, where we always run each of the steps manually to get data loaded into system. Here, instead of that, we can have data load rules, and we can keep reusing them as many times as we want. So let's say we have a load where we want to trigger an end-to-end load of import, validate, export, and check. So we need not have to click on 4 times at each of the workflow tab to run them. Instead, we can simply go into the data load rule corresponding to that location and period and trigger the data load rule. The data load rule will trigger all the 4 steps if required. However, based on our requirement, we can choose to run as many number of steps, or let's say if we want to simply run import, we can also run only import with the help of data load rule. FDMEE supports Jython and VB scripting, and there are some cases where like only Jython has to be written, such as in import script. However, VB and Jython can both be used in event and custom script. Reporting. There are a number of pre-built reports in FDMEE which can be run as per the business requirement, such as location report, location listing report, mapping audit reports. In these reports, suppose in mapping audit reports, you can check on who have changed the mapping at what point of time. So there are hundreds of pre-built reports in FDMEE, and they can be run based on the information that you want to print. Batch processing is something that is used to create automations in FDMEE. So we basically create automations with the help of batches, and we also schedule batches. We can also keep them scheduled to run based on our business needs or business scenarios. A new feature that came along with 1.4 is data synchronization. So with data synchronization, we can actually use EPM application in the source system, and with this we can, while using EPM application in the source system, we can pull data from HFM and feed it to SBase, or vice versa. We can pull data from SBase and feed it to HFM. So this is how the data can be kept synchronized. Let's say we want to move data from HFM to SBase or SBase to HFM. We can do that with the help of data synchronization. So let's come to import format. Maybe some of you are not on mute, so it would be great if you can go on mute. There is some busy noise that is coming in. So the next topic is import format. So import format is a feature in FDMEE in which we basically tell FDMEE that what columns in the source file, or what columns in the source system, or what dimensions in the source system should go to what columns in the FDMEE statement table. So import formats are defined to map source segments. So we can also, import formats are also defined to map source segments or chart of fields to target dimensions. There can be a number of types of import formats based on the source file. They are fixed format, delimited, and multi-period. So these are the three types of import format that we have, and these are typically based on the source file that will be coming in. So for a fixed format source file, we can design a different type of import format. There can be delimited and multi-period import formats as well. So multi-period import formats will always be delimited. We cannot have fixed file format multi-period import formats. Next is mappings. Mappings are the most important feature of FDMEE. So here in mappings, we basically tell FDMEE that what members in the source should be converted or should be translated to what members in the target. So in mappings, we basically define the relationship between the source and the target dimensions. We store mappings corresponding to a location, and we must create a member mapping
Muted.
This can be purely done from within FDMEE. The last topic is data synchronization. So Data synchronization feature is available from the very latest version of FDMEE, that is 1.2.4, and with this feature we can use EPM application as source. That is, in source we can use both HFM, SBase application such as HFM or SBase application in this source. So that means we can pull data from planning, feed it to HFM and vice versa. That is the reason it is known as data synchronization, where we can load data from ERP to EPM, EPM to EPM, and EPM to ERP systems as well. This is the same for metadata as well. So now is the question and answers. If you have any questions until now, you can get them clarified regarding the courses or regarding the topics that we have covered.